Welcome to the Astral Plane, a purgatory between life and death. Your deadened souls, you are all dead, unfortunately, I hate to tell you, awaken in a spectral town called Soul Meadow. The air is perfumed with lavender and the lingering essence of fading memories. Cobblestone streets shimmer with astral sea residue, carrying the ethereal symphony of souls seeking closure of their unfinished business from their previous lives. Soul Meadow is a surreal dance between dream and memory, with the occasional memory portal bursting into existence to try and guide those seeking their next afterlife through discoveries from their past. In Soul Meadow, astral winds carry destiny, but now, destiny seems tainted with an urgency of an unsolved murder.
In a realm beyond the living, a group of spectral souls, floating through death's mystery, fate decided by dice rolls. Like when a knocked on your beating heart, and now your souls can't depart. Dead season is nigh, cries of smoking gun in the doors. Xelborath Wilderton, not thrown!
We will begin our adventure with one of the top reapers of the Astral Plane named Talroth. Reapers are agents of the Raven Queen, guides to lost souls, and they help them through their memory portals to help them pass on or collect their fading souls in the process and collect them as will-o'-wisps. If a soul is unable to move on in an appropriate amount of time, then the Astral Plane kind of claims the chaos of their soul and they turn into these little floating balls of light. Mason will talk about it later, you'll see. Talroth, you are on the cusp of completing your oath to the Raven Queen. You are a paladin of the Raven Queen, of which your goal is to guide 1,000 souls to the next stage of the death cycle. You have completed 999 souls while in the Astral Plane, and you have been tasked to find one final soul in order to move on and to live amongst the Raven Queen's presence. Your adventurer has kind of taken an unexpected turn, for as you were in the process of guiding your final soul into the next life, you received a call on your communication device of the Reaper Guard. The call was that Lady Pinkerton, the town founder and fortune teller, was murdered in her astral mansion. Her crystal ball now holds the mystery of her demise, as it lies in the center of the room you are investigating, and she and the crystal ball are both covered in a pool of blood. Lady Pinkerton may have been the key to unraveling her own mystery, and also may have been the key to unraveling the threads of plentiful of souls that are now stuck in the Astral Plane, looking for how they either died or what they need to find to move on. But, unfortunately, she is gone. Talroth, you have been dispatched to the scene of the crime, the murder, which, might I say, though in life the Raven Queen was all about bringing souls to their death, in the Astral Plane, you're not supposed to be murdered as a soul. If anything, the thing that happens is soul splitting, which causes a soul to become a will-o'-wisp. It is very uncommon for somebody to be torn apart like Lady Pinkerton. You have not seen blood in a long time, since you've been alive, but there is blood pooling everywhere. As you're kind of inspecting around Lady Pinkerton's manor, there's a forensics team kind of poking around, trying to figure out what's going on. What is Talroth's ritual when he is conducting an investigation?
I'm going to investigate the bodies. I want to see if they have been stabbed, sliced, bludgeoned, what the manner of death deliverance was.
As you were starting to investigate this body, go ahead and roll me an investigation check in a moment, because I want to, because I want to explain. In this campaign, we're going to do something called 52 ways to find a body. In my hand, I have a deck of cards. It's not the deck of many things. I do not start campaigns with the deck of many things. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. I just end them with the deck of many things. Exactly. I'm going to hand each of you a card. Don't look at it. Put it face down in front of you. This is going to give you clues towards the mystery that... No, don't look at it.
Oh.
It's okay.
I love how you did it like a joke and then you were like, oh, really?
No, don't look. These cards will show you kind of like a path. I've got 52 little investigation clues that you can find amongst this house. I'm excited to try out this new little investigation thing. If your investigation goes well, we will see if you find a clue. So go ahead and roll me an investigation check to see if you...
May I petition it to be medicine instead?
Absolutely, yes.
20.
Natural?
No, just, sorry,
Oh.
18 plus 2.
Wonderful,
Dirty.
yeah.
Still.
With a 20, even unnatural, go ahead and flip your card and tell me which...
Oh, what? I've never
Such
seen
surprise.
this before.
The 4 of spades.
The 4 of spades. As you were inspecting the body, you look over Lady Pinkerton. There doesn't seem to be any bodily injuries that you can tell. There are small incisions, razor-thin incisions that you see. However, as you kneel down on the carpet that Lady Pinkerton is laying on top of with this pool of blood, your knee hits into this fleshy substance, and you kind of flip over the rug to see what you've kneeled on. Shoddily hidden, a human heart was laying underneath this carpet.
Did I crush the heart?
No, so you kind of just felt like the flesh grazed against your knee, but it's completely still intact. It seems that... Actually, go ahead and roll me another medicine check.
7.
You don't notice any additional information about this heart. You notice the heart, and you point it out to the rest of your Reaper forensics team. You're all, I'm assuming, wearing gloves as you're touching things. Okay. So you don your gloves and start handling the heart and give it to the forensics Reaper team, and they put it in a little baggie and mark it as evidence.
And as I'm doing this, I'll just say, the victim appears to have died due to many small incisions across the body, hence where the blood has come from.
As you are noticing this about the body, tell me about the soul that is accompanying you and why.
The person standing next to me is Zell, the potentially unfortunate soul that I have been directed to guide to its afterlife. It is not believing it is dead at the moment, which presents a bit of a conundrum, as I've never seen such a case before.
As you are looking over Xelborath, tell me about your character. Tell me your character's description, your little intro spiel.
Yeah, so Talroth is a very tall but very thin elf. His eyes are just completely black and seem to have almost small stars in them instead of pupils. He is a Shadar Kai elf that is dedicated to the Raven Queen's service, wearing a black cloak that covers nearly all of his body, but the parts of his body that you are able to see are very frail-looking, thin, and skeletal. The skin is taut around all of his bones and muscle. He looks just hollow. Underneath the black cloak, he is also carrying his weapon, his lantern, on his back, from which a metal cage swings next to his shoulder that has a small light that is just bobbing. It counts as a flail. And the thing in the lantern itself is a will-o-wisp. As part of my character's abilities, he is able to raise departed souls as will-o-wisps under his control to help him guide other unfortunate souls to their end. My class is Paladin, and subclass is Oath of the Ferryman.
You are inspecting this body, you look over at Zell, the soul that you are supposed to carry into the next life, your 1000th soul. Zell, can you go ahead and tell me about what your character looks like in your character description?
Xelborath Wilderton. He's very bolsterous, human fighter. Yes.
Unique.
Quite unique and new. Playing the Squire subclass, made by our own DM here. Xelborath always stands at the ready. He's got a shield held. He's got a glaive at the side, so he can... It's like a spear, but has a little bit more of a blade for intercepting things. His armor is like a hard, heavy metal armor, but it's made to look like a slick leather armor set. It's got like the brown coloring. I've described him as having basically the looks of a baby-faced John Cena. And like, you know, you got not quite that like bulk build, but like a slightly leaner.
A leaner
version.
Cena. A leaner, younger
Lena
Baby
Cena.
face, leaner Cena. That's what you're seeing. He's just standing there at the weight, almost as if guarding Talroth.
I do apologize for the wait. Duty calls, as you can see.
Oh,
But thank you for your patience.
oh, no worries at all. You have all of it. All of my patience. It is yours.
Very well. Just do not go wandering again.
Oh, I've learned my lesson. I shall not wander without my guide.
As you, Zell, are looking over Talroth inspecting this body, and he's found this heart and has put it into the evidence locker, we're going to pan over to our other 2 souls who are joining us in this adventure. These 2 souls, Talroth, you would recognize from the precinct as 2 of the souls who didn't witness the murder, but were the first 2 souls to find the dead body of Lady Pinkerton. They were taken back to the precinct, the Reaper precinct, in order to be questioned, asked about what their affiliation with Lady Pinkerton might have been. They have given their statements. They are here back at the crime scene in order to kind of point out to the forensics team where everything was at the scene of the crime so that they can get a better picture in solving this murder. So, Chai, tell me about your character and give me your little spiel.
Yes, so my character's name is Chai. She is a Firbolg Culinary Domain Cleric, which is a subclass that Cade made for me. Since Chai is a Firbolg, that means that she's a race that's descended from giants. She is 6'4", which is actually slightly short for a female Firbolg. She has broad shoulders and more of a dense build. She has grayish blue skin, and in true Firbolg fashion, she has a wider pink nose and slightly floppy, furry ears. She also has brown hair that falls loosely around her face in like a twisted style, and her clothes are like, she's got these earthy colored clothes on that's sort of like a hippie vibe, but then you would also probably first notice that she's wearing these very colorful accessories in the form of like jewelry and a hairpiece and a waist belt, and she also has a multicolored like dance ribbon that's attached to her belt as well. So she's looking pretty colorful for what I'm assuming we're mostly seeing in the astral plane. So
Right.
That's the Chai visual.
Javi, go ahead and tell me about your character.
Okay. So I'll be playing Javi, an Armorer Artificer who in life was a rock gnome. Javi stands at a mere 3 feet tall, hunched posture that accentuates his frail appearance. He's pale, his skin is weathered, covered in age spots and wrinkles. He's elderly. Thinning white hair appears wispy and disheveled, sticking out in odd, crazy directions, like he doesn't take care of himself almost. He has large, spectacled brown eyes with glasses made out of just random pieces and like taped together, like just misshapen and haphazard. Just looks insane. You just have mad scientist crazy energy. Okay. Every movement Javi makes is erratic, but it's like filled with undeniable energy. Even though he's old, he's like always darting his eyes around looking for the next like insane discovery. He's like a mad scientist energy. Speech is deep and raspy, often punctuated by sudden bursts of excitement or bouts of maniacal laughter. Javi is covered in his armor, which is his greatest creation, which he created in life. It's crafted with a combination of like metal plates, gears, arcane enhancements. It exudes an aura of power and badness. It's asymmetrical, some pieces larger and more elaborate than others. You'll never find Javi without his trusted homunculus servant Finn, a small robotic spider whose body is made of tarnished copper and brass, gears and cogs protruding from its exoskeleton at odd angles, giving it a chaotic and haphazard look. Javi treats Finn as if he's like his own son, his own flesh and blood. He's the most important thing in his life.
Chai, Javi, as you are looking over the forensics team, mulling over all of the evidence of this murder, what are you guys doing?
I really don't remember much. We were just... We had just barely arrived.
Yeah, as we walked in this room, we saw the lady in a puddle of blood.
Right. Okay.
There was nothing else to it. We walked in, and then there it was.
It was just there, just like that. And all these brochures were everywhere, and it was just a mess. I mean, it's just a disaster in here.
Finn was going crazy. Puddle was going crazy. It's crazy.
I think we're all going a little bit crazy.
Crazy.
Can I hear this conversation
Yes,
happening?
of course.
I apologize. I get the sense that you have already relayed this information, but you saw the murder happen?
We didn't see no murder.
No, we didn't see any murder, no.
We walked in, and there was blood everywhere. There was blood, there was body, there was Finn, there was Chai.
Did you see anything out of the ordinary? Magical effects? Things that looked out of place?
By my memory, I don't remember anything special like that. This is exactly what we walked in on, wasn't it?
Nothing seems different than when we walked in.
I know we're not being very helpful. I'm sorry.
No, confirmation against theories is help enough. Appreciated. You have taken their statements?
Yeah, we've taken their statements. I'm glad you're on the case, Talroth. Sorry, I don't know if I introduced myself. My name's Captain Pinkerton. I'm kind of like Talroth's superior, but Talroth is way above me in soul level. He's
not to be trusted.
Soul level?
Yeah, we collect souls as reapers. It's kind of part of the name, Reaper. Talroth and we bring souls to the after. Didn't your Reaper tell you about this?
Right. I remember our Reaper telling us about how he was going to help us pass on, and that was the whole reason why he brought us to Lady Pinkerton in the first place. Said something about how she had some ESP-type power to help us out.
It was like a foresight ability. She could tell us where we needed to go.
Yeah, she was going to give us some tasks that were going to help us pass on in a peaceful way.
Right. Okay.
And then she just went up and died on us.
Yeah, terrible timing. I'm sorry. You just mentioned that your last name or something is Pinkerton?
Captain, yes.
Are you related to the Lady Pinkerton?
Indeed. This is actually a very hard subject for me to, the Pinkertons are the founders of this town.
Oh, very interesting. You haven't seemed to usually be too worried about death.
Well, no. I mean, the Raven Queen's very worried about death. We usher people into the next life. Lady Pinkerton was just a conduit to merely guide people farther along their road. Right, Talroth?
Correct. She was our residential fortune teller. However, do you know if she kept a diary or note-keepings of her visions? Is there some way we could assist these souls?
I think she has a library upstairs. I don't dare go up there. Too many memories.
Do you require me to stay here any longer?
Where would you go?
I have absolutely no idea. I've never been here before. But me and Finn have many places to go.
And then you'll see Javi like look around and realize like Finn, his crazy spider, is just gone.
Finn! Oh, have any of you seen Finn?
Oh,
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, yeah. First roll of the campaign. 23.
23. Yeah. Wow. All right. So as you're looking around for Finn, go ahead and flip your card for me.
Ooh. King of Hearts.
King of Hearts.
I think that's good.
So as you are listening, for Finn, because he has many crazy sounds and ticks that he
Whistles
makes,
and ticks and mechanical hisses.
You hone in on Chai and the pocket fishbowl that you made for Chai. You hear the little of Finn hanging out in a small fishbowl, seemingly trying to converse with Chai's semi-familiar Puddle, the octopus, the baby octopus.
Realizing Finn has kind of wandered off, Javi likes to keep Finn close, kind of connected to his suit, if possible. Javi, realizing he's gone, like, Finn, get over here, you crazy little robot.
Oh, gracious! I am so sorry. I'm sorry. Is he waterproof? Is he gonna be okay?
I can fix him.
Okay,
Javi's gonna reach over.
I scoop him out and give him back to you.
As you scoop Finn out, you notice that Finn has found a small little trinket. And as you pull Finn out of the fishbowl around your waist, Chai, and hand him back to Javi, you notice that with Finn is a locket necklace with half of a raven symbol attached to like the pendant. Like the end of the necklace on the end of the pendant is half of a raven.
Javi will pick it up and inspect it and look over it. Is it a symbol that he like recognizes from anything, or
What's your religion score?
just like when I was a cleric?
Just like when you're a cleric.
No,
Probably.
you have good intelligence.
I do have good intelligence. Actually, not. This is actually probably better. Oh, +3.
Nice. Okay. With a +3 to religion, you would assume that this might have been the symbol of the Raven Queen, although on further inspection, this doesn't seem to match up with the Raven Queen's raven symbol. It seems to be somewhat of like an offshoot of the Raven Queen's symbol. The Raven Queen being the predominating goddess of life and death. She's taken over from Lathander
which
and
Javi doesn't know, right? Javi's not this is a new domain for him,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
So realizing it's Raven Queen tangent,
Memorability.
right?
Memorabilia, yeah.
It's like kind of Raven, but also not.
Yes.
Javi doesn't know who these other people are. He's gonna go over to Chai, who at least kind of has some background with. Like they arrived in this plane together. They're in this together.
Definitely.
He's gonna walk over to Chai and be like, Finn found this. Do you know what this is?
I don't think I recognize that, but I mean, anything could be helpful. They were just asking us if we knew any information. Maybe give that to somebody who knows what to do with it.
And he's gonna look around, and does he see any like people related to the investigation nearby?
You look over and see Talroth and Zell, who have just finished inspecting this heart. And Talroth, you notice the locket that is being held by Javi and Chai. They're both kind of inspecting it. And you notice that it is not, in fact, the symbol of the Raven Queen, though it does resemble a raven that you are quite familiar with. A raven that you have nicknamed Jewel. A raven that seems to be following your character around. It's the same raven on the necklace.
What is it that you have there?
Oh, my friend. My best friend. A fiend found this. I don't know where, but he found this locket.
Peculiar.
It seems to have a little bit of a bird, darn it.
A raven, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is a symbol that I am quite familiar with.
No, that's too bad. Me and Finn found it.
I just kidding. Would you like to see it?
I would be most intrigued.
He'll hand it to Talroth.
Does it seem to have any properties or anything like that, or is it just a pendant? Like, it looks like you said half. Does it look like another half is missing?
Yes. So, similar to like a BFF style necklace, it seems that the other half of this pendant is missing. Whatever magical properties this pendant holds seems to be inert until the locket is completed.
Captain Pinkerton, these two have been more than helpful with the investigation so far. I think that we should send them to the library in an attempt to find their destiny. Would you be acceptable to that?
Actually, you notice that the forensics team has been busily bustling around this crime scene. There seems to be somewhat of a ruckus going on with the forensics team. And as you start to talk to Captain Pinkerton, he says, yeah, actually, the three of you can head on up to the library if you would like, but Talroth, I would like to have a word with you.
Very well.
This is also very late, but I didn't want to interrupt your guys' thing. When he was saying that he's very torn up about it, can I roll an insight check to see if he's being genuine about being torn up?
Absolutely.
About
yes.
this?
Go ahead and roll me a second roll and tell me tell me both.
Okay. So 21 for the first roll, 17 for the second.
The reason I'm doing that, just so everyone knows, for insight checks for the rest of the campaign, I'm planning on having you guys roll 2. I'm not going to tell you whether you are rolling advantage or disadvantage, so that if the person that is lying to you, for instance, if you got a 4 and a natural 20, you wouldn't know if you got the 4 solution or if you got the 20.
But this one's good
'Cause we're playing
because
mystery.
I dig.
there's too high.
There's too high, so we can
rely on it
assume
more.
This is
that
a
we
good
can
one.
rely on
Good,
it more.
good information.
I like it.
Okay. He seems a little choked up. However, his position as captain of the Reapers seems to be a little more pertinent at the moment. You notice as you look over at him inspecting Lady Pinkerton's body, he does a small ritual and rises the will-o-wisp from her body. But the will-o-wisp, with the absolute desecration of her soul, fades. And it seems that she's not even able to be secured as a will-o-wisp. Her soul is gone. She has been erased from existence. And Captain Pinkerton, though not super bent out of shape about it, you can't tell if he's not bent out of shape about it because he's on the job.
I'm going to try to whisper, but probably not very effectively with my bolster, with the way I talk. Over to Talroth. I'd rather not leave you alone with him.
I'll be fine. He is my boss. I have been with him for a long time. Keep an eye on the other two. Make sure they don't get into trouble. I will send my wisp if anything goes awry.
And I will be here shortly, if I see it. What does it look like?
Motion up to my lantern.
Oh, it can come out. Well, that's lovely.
And I'll unlatch it and just have it start orbiting around me.
Shall we?
All right. I don't think we got anything better to do. Yeah, Javi?
I am quite confused.
I am too.
I do not understand this world we have found ourselves in, Chai.
If you find the lady's diary, I think it will prove very excellent in moving us along the path to explaining why you are here.
Finn, time for bed.
And Finn will climb up and grab onto Javi's shoulder of his suit and just like sink into like a hole. Finn filled the gap. And then he'll follow.
As soon as we leave the main room, I'll beg. Just so you're aware, the Pinkertons are treacherous.
We were told we were supposed to go to Lady Pinkerton. She was going to give us our way to the next life.
I mean, thank you for the information. We really don't know our way around here, so we're just kind of clamoring at this point. You seem like you really know what you're doing.
Yeah, you've been here for a while.
I have also just arrived, but I have previous engagements with the Pinkertons and have found them quite murderous. Anyways, let's continue.
Yes, and as you're continuing on upstairs, your mind kind of drifts back to one of your life's memories of being at odds with the Pinkerton family, even in life. It seems that whatever sick joke that the gods or demons that have brought you here, it seems that you can't even escape the Pinkertons in your death state. As you guys are heading up to the library and inspecting for Lady Pinkerton's journal, tell me where you would like to look in this immaculate library.
Javi is not as much interested in the books as far as the infrastructure that holds the books. Are there any shelves or rugs or light fixtures that seem to be in disrepair.
As you are looking over the architectural structure of the library, you notice up high there's a chandelier that seems to have a 3-prong system holding it up, but one of the prongs has come loose, and so the chandelier is hanging from 2 strings instead of 3 strings to keep it centered.
Yeah. As Javi notices that, he's still getting used to his robotic suit, which he hasn't used much.
Right.
But he'll run over with his robotic suit right under that chandelier. He'll grab Finn out of his shoulder piece and say, "Finn, Astral Plane professionals have no idea what they are doing." And he'll throw Finn up to the roof to try and repair the chandelier that they haven't properly installed.
Great.
And he will not look for the book.
Finn is up there repairing. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check to see how well Finn does.
Dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, Chai, something falls from the chandelier and it hits you at the top of the head. Go ahead and flip your card for me.
Hold on. I'd like to make a check to try to block that as I am hovering very defensively because I do not trust the Pinkertons.
Wonderful.
They're probably
Wonderful.
about to attack. I'd like to use my intercept ability.
Yeah, do it. Roll me a dexterity save.
17.
You catch
Shield.
this. It blocks from your shield, and you catch what has fallen.
I would like to catch it over her head with the shield and then present it to her with the shield.
Yeah. Chai, go ahead and tell me what your card is.
2 of clubs.
A 2 of clubs. Zell, you offer this to Chai. As you block with your shield whatever is coming from this chandelier and hand it to Chai, you notice it's a scroll of paper, and it unfurls as you hand it to Chai, and you see the big X that you mark with your signature is written on the corner of this parchment.
Apologies, madam, and I'll snatch it from your hand. This is mine.
And you look over it. This is the treasure map that you once gave your son, Delry, in life. The son that you were looking for in the astral plane. Though, instead of it being new, like you remember it in life, this treasure map is covered in this black ichorous substance. It has this syrupy liquid kind of dripping off of the edges of this map. And you look over it. It is still warm from, you assume, Delry's grasp.
I'm going to try to clean it. See if I have anything like a container I can put it in.
Yeah, so you're able to wipe away the ichor, and as you're wiping away the ichor, go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
8.
Well, that's good. We
Wi-
rolled hot so far.
with-
we needed somebody to start the battle.
With a failed wisdom saving throw, you hear a ton of voices in the back of your brain whispering over and over and over again, and the thing they're whispering is, "What you want is through the portal. What you want is through the portal." And go ahead and make me another wisdom saving throw.
3.
I saw it. It was bad.
You're going to take 14 points of psychic damage.
Ooh, dude, we're level 3.
I know.
We can't
I know
handle
what you
that.
are.
We can't handle that yet.
As these voices start to echo in your brain over and over again.
Do I know it's from the inky substance?
Yes.
Do not touch the goo. It appears to affect you.
Are you okay? What?
Yes, I'm fine.
You don't... Are you sure you're okay?
But, it definitely has had a negative effect on me, but I will be fine.
All right. You said that's yours?
The goo isn't. That belongs to somebody else. But yes, the scroll. It is my son Delry's.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
It's a map.
Like a treasure map?
Yeah, a treasure map of the actual countryside they lived in with all the destinations they were going to visit and stuff. Before we became a family of adventurers, I drew this map for my son so that there would be destinations that we would be excited to find. And, well, we haven't hit all of them yet, so we still need it.
Oh, that's lovely. I love hearing that. I hope you're okay. Well, anyway, I know we were finding a journal or something, right? Talroth really needed us to find that, so I guess I'll get looking, and I'll start to look through the shelves.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation as well as you're looking around the shelves.
You have kind hearts helping without any immediate reward. It's too bad that it is wasted on the Pinkertons. Xelborath will not be looking.
Javi, seeing, like, I feel like Javi would notice when he grabs the map, he, like, experiences pain, right?
Yes.
Does Javi realize that the inky stuff that's on it is what's the source of pain, not the paper itself?
Yes, yes.
Javi is going to, with his new, he's still experimenting with his, like, new armored body. Like, he's used to being this, like, frail old gnome, and all of a sudden he's this, like, large armored creature with so much power. Almost as like an experiment, he wants to, like, take his armored hand and grab the ink off of the paper and see if he could separate it, pull out his bag of holding, and put the ink in his bag of holding.
Definitely. Roll me a wisdom saving throw with advantage with your armored gauntlets on.
Yeah. 19.
A 19. You were able to successfully pool the goop. It seems to stick together in a manner that it doesn't seem to want to pool away. It doesn't
want to
drip
separate.
like water.
It wants to
doesn't
stay together.
It's kind of like
Okay.
a putty where you're able to take it off of the paper, and as you take it off the paper, it goes from a liquid to more of a solid feel in your hands,
Wow.
and you're able to put it in your bag of holding.
Okay, Javi will, as he shoves it all into his, like, bag of holding, he'll look over at Zell and he'll say,
Are you able to read that now?
The map?
You seem to have a hard time reading it before I cleaned it for you.
Yes, I appreciate your assistance with that. The goo was giving me a little bit of a problem. I wasn't dealing well with it.
The whispers did not stop in your brain
Oh, they're still
until Javi put the goo in the bag of holding. The bag of holding being an entirely different dimensional space, the inside of the bag of holding. So it seems that this goo has no effect over you anymore now that it is no longer on the same plane of existence as you are.
Do me a favor and keep that in your bag. It seems to still have an effect on me while it's in my presence.
I don't owe you anything.
That is fair.
I don't know you. Chai, would you like me to keep it in the bag, or would you want me to bring it back out?
Oh, just keep it in the bag. That seems like a
I will
good
keep it in the
idea.
bag because it is my decision.
I appreciate your decision. And on that note, Chai, have you found anything?
Well, let's see what my investigation check is. 19.
Oh,
Wow, you guys are rolling
we are
great.
crushing
I'm
it.
not even mad about it.
Yes.
So, as you're flipping through this library of books, you actually do find a journal that is labeled as Lady Pinkerton's journal on the side binding. Zell, can you flip your clue for Chai?
Yes. 6 of diamonds.
A 6 of diamonds. So, Chai, you open the journal of Lady Pinkerton, and creased along the front page, you open a strongly worded letter from Lady Pinkerton addressed to Captain Pinkerton about the Reaper that you just met moments ago, Talroth. It seems that Lady Pinkerton was not happy with Talroth, and this letter seems to be detailing why Lady Pinkerton wants Talroth to be taken off of the Reaper force entirely. As you find that, we're going to go back to Talroth. Talroth, you've been asked to stay behind by Captain Pinkerton. He approaches you. Talroth, you know the Lady Pinkerton was, close family.
Indeed.
The forensics team seems to, found what I only can assume to be a mistake.
How so?
Well, we found fingerprints, Talroth, all over the crime scene. Your fingerprints.
That is absurd. I have been guiding a soul all of today.
Yes, it seems this murder might have happened, yesterday morning. Do you have an alibi for what you were doing yesterday morning?
One of my alibis is no longer able to account, as they have passed on. However, after I have completed that task, I had a discussion with Rivel.
Rivel. Reaper Rivel.
Correct.
You're in luck. He's actually one of the forensics team. He's up in the library with the rest of the 3 souls that you were accompanied with earlier today. Can you go ahead and go up to the library and bring Rivel back down here? I don't mean to show you any sign of disrespect. Obviously, Talroth, you've done a great service for the Force, for the Raven Queen, and I want to give you a chance to clear your name of any suspicion before we have to arrest you. And
I will do as you say.
if your alibi clears up, we have no reason to question you any further. I'll be up in a moment. I need to compose myself. Obviously, the lady's passing is still weighing on me, but if you can find who did this and bring them to justice, I would be forever grateful. But if I find out that it is you who did this to the Lady Pinkerton, I swear it, you will be the next person who is turned into a will-o-wisp.
Captain, I have no desire in taking the lives of souls. I seek only to deliver them to their needed destination. I have no reason to have committed this crime, but regardless of what your findings are, know that I will continue with my duty regardless.
And I'll turn and do a dramatic flip of my cape like Snape and march towards the library.
So you were able to make it to the library, and you see Zell, Javi, and Chai all clamoring around the book of Lady Pinkerton, the journal, the diary that you were able to find with this strongly worded letter about you. And what would you all like to do as you find Talroth approaching into the room?
As I see Talroth, and I just feel like this is like weird gossip that I'm suddenly holding on to, I'm just going to turn to Javi and say, hey, you got a bag, right? Could you just toss this in your bag really quick?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Javi will grab the book and throw it in his bag of holding.
Thank
and then
you.
continue working on whatever the light or whatever him and Finn were working on before.
Great. Deep breath. I feel better.
The Astral Plane doesn't know how to hang a light. So we're screwing it in.
Oh, Talroth, it's a pleasure that to see you've made it up here.
Quite, I am actually here on business. Have any of you seen another Reaper around under the name Rivel?
Revel.
Echoes throughout this library. You listen in closely. You all listen in closely to try and hear the calling out of Revel. And in a distant room of the library, a study of sorts, you hear terrifying ripping of something horrific sounding. What would you like to do?
Javi will immediately disconnect Finn from his shoulder piece and say,
Investigate.
Javi knows he's slow. He's not used to his armor being able to accentuate and make his speed faster, so he's used to having Finn investigate these type of things. So he sends Finn off to investigate and go check it out, while he, in his elderly body, tries to catch up.
In a similar fashion, I am going to the will-wisp that's encircling me. I'm going to order just return, and I'm going to have it go back into its lantern. I'm going to hold it out in front of us, and I'm just going to start going towards the sound.
Oh my gracious, what is going on in there? And I'm gonna head towards the sound.
So you all start approaching towards this sound. As you all approach this study in the library, and you're hearing this horrific gnashing of, it almost sounds like metal hitting against a bone over and over again. Before you open this door, Talroth, leading the group with your lantern attached to your oar paddle. As you creak this door open, before you stands a horrifying, ichor-covered monster with a zipper-like mouth taking up the majority of its huge face. The monster crunches its fangs into its most recent kill. Your Reaper friend lie cold, dripping blood. With silent precision, the creature snaps a bone of the prey in its mouth and bursts a light behind it. The burst of light turns into a memory portal. Chai, go ahead and make me a perception check. Everyone else, go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
10.
10.
12.
17.
Talroth and Javi, you're going to take 9 points of psychic damage as you are frozen in fear from the sight of this shadowy monster that stands in front of you, crunching into its prey. And Chai, you were able to kind of peer past this monster into the portal that it creates behind it. This memory portal that you've only heard whisperings of from your time here in the Astral Plane. You see Firbolgs dancing in colorful ribbons around a large bonfire, celebrating what you recognize to be the hero's feast. The creature silently lowers its jaws together and tosses this body at the four of you.
Intercept.
Yes.
Shield!
As you hold your shield up, Zell, the body clangs into your shield and a spattering of blood covers the entire party. The monster disappears into the portal behind it, and the portal begins to close. On the other end of the library, you hear the voice of Captain Pinkerton, Talroth. Hey, what's going on in there? Talroth?
There is a creature of evil. Shall we pursue?
The captain is going to see the body of Reaper Revel laying at your feet, Talroth, with blood spattering across the entire party. Talroth, you had accomplices. You did this.
This
Do not
was
try to
a
turn
You
this
killed
on
the
us,
lady!
foe.
As you are trying to defend yourself, you hear on your police communicator, all units report to the library of the Pinkerton residence. We have a pursuit in chase, and Captain Pinkerton is going to start sprinting at you, drawing a weapon. The portal behind you is quickly closing.
Seeing that there's suddenly a portal open where the last thing I remember, which was being at this hero's feast,
Yes.
and seeing my people, despite like just the violence that just occurred, this whole time that this has been going down in this matter of seconds, I am walking towards this portal. Chai desperately wants to know that her kids are okay.
Yes.
At this point, right now, it's really the only thing in life that she wants. Like you said, she's been hearing whisperings about portals, memory portals. And so she is feeling absolutely drawn to the portal in this moment.
You wander through the portal, still covered in blood. You are able to kind of bypass the body lying by your feet and are able to wander through this portal of the hero's feast. Javi, go ahead and make me an investigation check as we are going to...
So he just said that there was a pursuit in
Yes, all
Right.
units have been dispatched out to your area.
I would like to use the command spell,
Yes.
and I am going to point to the portal and say, in. Basically, I want him to come with us through the portal as we are.
Captain Pinkerton?
Yeah.
Is it 15?
Yeah, that's going to succeed.
Unfortunately, Captain Pinkerton says, "You can't manipulate me. Talroth, I'll make you pay."
Well, you're going to have a hard time doing it.
And I'm going to look towards her already going in. I'm going to look towards Zell and just say,
Zell, I think we have our time to go.
You Pinkertons always want more. And I'll walk through the portal.
Absolutely. And Captain Pinkerton says, "I won't let you get away with this." And he's sprinting. Javi,
My investigation check was a 19.
with a 19, you feel the hole in your shoulder. You recognize that
Finn?
Finn is gone.
Finn is gone. Okay. Javi's going to desperately look around. Does he see Finn anywhere in the area?
You do not feel Finn. You do not feel Finn around.
Finn! Finn! Thinking back, he's going to realize that since arriving in the Astral Plane, Finn has been so obsessed with Puddle, Chai's companion,
Yes.
Octopus, and realize the only place that Finn would leave Javi is to go and play with that little octopus hanging by the side of Chai, who has already gone through the portal. So realizing Finn is most likely through that portal, Javi is going to bolt full sprint in.
The four of you all clamber towards this portal, are all able to make it through the portal before the portal closes behind you. Talroth, you've just made it to basically the end of your career as one of the distinguished people of the Raven Queen. You have now been accused of a murder.
Talroth will be feeling very confused. Is it common to go through other people's memory portals?
It used to be an old practice that Reapers would join souls through their memory portals. However, you as a Reaper would know that these memory portals have a quick way of making a person forget who they are. And forgetting who you are is the number one way that souls split. It is the number one way that souls become lost, become will-o'-wisps. There's a reason that Reapers do not travel through memory portals with souls anymore. They just guide them to memory portals for them to go through. However, it is much safer to be in a memory portal with the person whose memory it is. You have the anchor that is Chai in this memory to remind you all, this is my memory, you did not live this life. It is much easier to remember who you are when somebody is there to tell you this is not you.
It's me.
Exactly. You would know absolutely that people used to travel through portals. You are in dangerous territory right now.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be feeling just a mixture of shock, both at the situation himself, at the monster he saw, the death of Revo, and finally his shock of himself in putting himself in even more precarious circumstance before looking around, and his main priority is going to be looking for Zell to see if he made it through and is still around.
Absolutely. And Zell, you notice, has clambered through the portal as well with you. You are feeling more comforted by the fact that your final soul is still able to be reaped, is still safely with you.
That'll calm him for a little bit as he looks around and assesses the situation.
Zell is feeling vindicated. He had the assumption that the Pinkertons were not to be trusted, and just as Captain had turned on Talroth, a very trustworthy guide, he's clearly behind it all.
Love that.
He set him up. I knew it. I knew the Pinkertons were not to be trusted. He set you up.
Oh, I don't know.
You know. Trust me, you know.
It seems that some unfortunate circumstances may have occurred, but we will not let it inhibit us on our path.
They'll never inhibit me again.
Well, it seems that we are with these people now. We will need, at the very least, to traverse this memory to get back to the Astral Plane. At that point, I am more than willing to continue your guidance until your soul is able to come at rest.
Till we find my son Delry.
Indeed.
We're going to pan over to Chai and Javi. Javi, you're frantically looking for Finn, and you grasp at the little makeshift fishbowl that you've made around Chai's belt, and you see inside a little pink octopus floating around, and next to the pink octopus, another 8-appendaged figure, yes. Finn, sitting next to Puddle, looking at Puddle, and you hear a little bubble come up from the water as Puddle looks to Finn and taps himself on the torso with one of his tentacles. Puddle. And Finn goes... Exactly.
So we're through the portal at this point?
You're through the portal, yes. And you've found Finn successfully. You are noticing Chai, her eyes are glazed over.
Yeah, I would describe Chai's feelings being in like total desperation because she feels so closer than she has, all day to finding her kids, and just her brain in complete overdrive, trying to just think of how she's going to find them and how she's going to make this right. What is she going to do? She's not sure, but she's feeling very determined.
And all of you kind of have this feeling of determination, comfort, stress, and vindication as you are all within this memory of Chai, knowing somewhere within this memory, hiding, is the monster that killed Lady Pinkerton. And with that, we are going to end our session for the night. My name is Cade, the host and Grin Reaper of this Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I am joined here by the players to my left.
Brooklyn playing Chai.
Alec playing Javi.
Mason playing Talroth.
And Danny playing Xelborath Wilderton.
Thank you so much for listening. Hey, go on over to episode 2. We will have released episode 2 and 3 at this point on the exact same day, so you have plenty of time to binge and get to love these amazing characters here and figure out a little more about this murder mystery that we are delving through ourselves. If you love this murder mystery as much as we love playing it, go on over to patreon.com/knocked and consider subscribing if you are monetarily able to. If you're not monetarily able to, consider recommending us to a friend or leaving us a review. It would mean the absolute world to us. And we hope that you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your afterlife.